I remember the exact clink my glasses made when they hit the marble floor. Almost comical, yet echoed louder than the slap itself. 50 pairs of eyes locked on me. My wife's mother froze, chest heaving, hands trembling midair as if she couldn't believe what she had just done. In that silence, my cheek burning but my pride intact, I made a choice. I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't plead. I wouldn't raise my voice. I walked out, calm, measured, each step deliberate on the polished tile, while behind me, whispers swirled like vultures. Outside, in the crisp night air, I dialed a number I had been saving for this exact moment. A man answered. Few words were necessary. Now he understood. In an hour, he would enter that reception, and when her mother saw him, she would scream as though confronting her own ghost. I married into their family, believing I had found warmth. They seemed close-knit. Sunday dinners, loud laughter, obligatory toast about family. I thought I was welcomed, maybe tolerated. My wife insisted her parents adored me. I smiled through subtle jabs about my background, my money, my work ethic. I should have seen it sooner. The way favors were demanded, not asked. The way they treated my penthouse, my cars, my accounts as a communal property. I let it slide for her, for the woman I believed loved me more than their approval. Love, I learned, has a currency. In their world. It was measured not by who you are, but by what you provide. The first ray all crack appeared 6 months ago. I overheard her mother on the phone, smug, low, careless. She spoke of my penthouse as if it were already theirs. He'll hand it over. He's soft. And if not, we'll make sure. Her words weren't casual. They were rehearsed. That same week, my wife began slipping questions into our conversations about property deeds, my will, hypotheticals about what would happen if something happened to me. Sweetly packaged, but wrong. I replayed old conversations. Subtle cues I had dismissed. A pattern emerged. The truth cut deeper than any slap could. It wasn't just greed. It was entitlement. They didn't want me in the family. They wanted what was mine. And my wife, my partner, my supposed confidant was complicit. So I stopped being soft. Quietly, I moved the deed of my penthouse into an airtight trust. I shifted assets, consulted lawyers, locked everything under my control. My wife remained oblivious, believing her gentle prodding worked. Simultaneously, I began collecting evidence. Bank transfers, emails, recordings of her parents speaking freely about their plans. Their arrogance became my advantage. They assumed I'd never turn on them. I didn't only prepare defenses. I planned an attack, calculated clean, striking exactly where and when it would matter. A family that valued appearances above all would crumble under exposure. I didn't need to destroy them privately. I needed to gut them publicly. The wedding was the perfect stage. Grand ballroom, chandeliers, photographers capturing every stage smile. At their most powerful, surrounded by peers and friends, they were primed for collapse. When her parents cornered me near the buffet, their demand wasn't a request. Hand over the penthouse keys. Her father said, a decree. My refusal hung in the air before her mother's palm cut across my face. Gasps rippled through the room. Phones lifted, cameras clicked. They thought humiliation would weaken me. They miscalculated. I walked out, calm as a man lighting the final fuse. Exactly an hour later, I stood outside the reception hall, watching through glass doors as the man I had summoned entered. Not dressed for a wedding, dark suit, briefcase in hand, expression hard as stone. He headed straight for the DJ booth and handed over a flash drive. The music cut. Screens flickered. Guests turned. And then proof, emails, recordings, bank statements, photos projected above the dance floor. My wife's parents laughing about how easy it had been to manipulate me. My wife coaxing details about my assets. Her mother bragging to a friend. He's a wallet with legs. That's all. The room froze. Whispers became gasps, then heavy silence. Her father tried to shout, deny. Her mother clawed toward the booth, screaming at the man with the briefcase. When her own voice played, gloating, venomous, she screamed again, not in anger, but in recognition, in fear. She knew exactly who orchestrated this. My wife found me at the doorway, eyes wide, face pale beneath layers of makeup. "You, how could you?" I didn't answer. The evidence was still playing, her parents unraveling in real time, 50 guests recording every second. Their empire of appearances collapsed in minutes. She reached for me. I stepped back. The distance said everything. "You chose them," I said, voice low, steady. "Now live with them." By the time the police arrived, called by some desperate relative, her parents were in shambles. Fraud, tax evasion, theft, meticulously documented in the files I had supplied. I didn't need to press charges. The state would do the work for me. Guests scattered like witnesses at a crime scene, which, in a way, it was. By night's end, her parents were no longer hosts. They were suspects, humiliated, exposed, broken. My wife, collateral. She had chosen her side long before I struck. I didn't return to that reception. I didn't need to. My revenge was surgical, silent, perfectly timed. One move, and everything they valued was ash. I went back to my penthouse, sat in silence, and poured a drink. The city stretched beneath me, vast and glittering, mine untouchable. I felt no guilt, no regret, only clarity. They had slapped me in front of 50 guests, tried to strip me of dignity and property. I stripped them of their masks in return. That's the thing about betrayal. When you dig into someone else's chest, you forget they might be holding a sharper knife. And when it was over, when their screams still echoed in my memory, I realized something cold, yet liberating. I hadn't lost a family. I had cut out a tumor, and I slept soundly that night.